What's going on, Triple G family? Thank you so much for coming to the channel, home of all things rhythm and guitar, where we react / review to our favorite rock and metal songs. I teach you how to play those songs, and then we rock out together. Today we're going to do Killswitch, Engage, End of Heartache. Let's get it. Get too far ahead, that guitar line, that ba-na-na-na-na-na, sets a very chill atmosphere, considering everything else is pretty heavy, minus the vocals. But that vocal and the guitar part there is very melodic and get you warmed up, right? Speaking of which, quick pause here. This is definitely a review and not a reaction. My old band used to cover this song quite a bit when we would play out, and so yeah, here we go. Done many times before, but in many other bands and songs, but I love the break in between riffs, in between the riff parts, so where you could just hear, like in this case, it's just him singing, Howard Jones, just singing, and the drums, and that's it, and it creates a cool dynamic there. Let's go. I cling to memories while falling, sleep brings relief and the hope of a new day, waking the misery of being without you. Surrender, I can't another moment. This song does to me is, and you can comment if you feel otherwise or if you feel the same, is that for somebody who's not a straight metalhead, somebody who's just kind of you mess with it a little bit, this song is so melodic in its structure that if you even have a tendency to like rock or metal, you should like this song. Only gripe I can see, because I've seen it in the past, it doesn't bother me, but Howard's voice on this particular song, I don't know why that is. I think he sounds fine. I think he's got a nice, clean approach to some of it, and he's got, of course, the gruff, guttural approach to when it's called for. But it's a very melodic song, considering how heavy it is. Let's go. You know me. what's really cool, what's happened throughout this whole song too, vocally, is that there's different layers going on for sure. He's singing clean. Certain parts, there's a double track of him screaming the same part that he's singing clean. And then also on the chorus, you have a harmony going on, right? Let's go. And if you thought the song was pretty, you just said fuck you. Cool vocal effects. Killswitch Engage, End of Heartache. I don't know, speaking of Killswitch, I know they did an album called Unleashed, or was it called Atonement? I might be thinking of a single, I might be confusing the two. Anyways, that's the last album that I know they put out. I don't know if they put out anything new. I haven't, usually I get hit with, hey, this album came out, that album came out, whatever. I haven't heard anything from Killswitch in a little bit. But yeah, so now we're going to go ahead and learn how to play End of Heartache. All right, so this song, when we were doing the review of the song, right, and I was saying how there's a lot of vocal layering. There's also a lot of guitar layering in the song, okay? So I'm going to show you some of both parts. I'm going to show you how I play it. It depends on the situation. Like I said, I used to play it in a band, and in the band that I was in, I was the only guitar player. We had a bassist and we had a drummer. So I had to kind of like figure out what worked best to play as a guitar player, a single guitar player live. But we'll go through and I'll show you and we'll get through the song, okay? So the first thing, the song is in drop C. Okay, so normally you're in E standard tuning, but for this particular song, it's in drop C, which means that all the strings, except for your low E, is tuned down a whole step. Okay, whole step being, like for instance, from 5 to 3, that's a whole step. If I went 5 to 4, that's a half step. So anyways, whole step down, and then the low E is dropped down to a C. Okay, so now, the way the song starts, you're going to play an open power chord. At that point, you're hitting the 10. So that's 10 at the, we'll call it the low E, even though now it's a C, on the E, A, and D. 10. Open again. That's the one part. The other part, so I might get flack for this, and that's fine. The way it's really supposed to be played is quite the stretch. You're going like this. 1 on the high E, and then 5 on the B and G. Right, like that. That is, look, that's a hell of a stretch. Okay, and kudos to you if you play it that way. Just want to learn how to play that part. Okay, And then you can just practice that stretch on your own time. The way I do it is you go. Alright, so you're going at the B string. You're going 6, 5 on the B, 5 on the G. And you're kind of doing a pull off from the 6 to the 5 on the B, right? And then that was 8. 8 on the B. That's what that little part there. Six, 5, 5 on the G, 5, 6. Okay, so then you go into the verse riff. Well, it's not entirely the verse riff, but it leads into the verse riff, and it's very similar. It goes, palm muting the low E, in this case C. Going on the 7, you're doing a pull-off, or hammer-on pull-off situation here, right? 7 and 10, and then 6 and 9. Okay? And then, after you do it again, the chugging part, you go, it's on the A, 5, 8, 4, 7. Okay, so that leads into the verse riff. Okay, so what you're doing there is you're going the same rhythmic pattern of that chug. And you're going, this is octave chords, not power chords, octave chords. So you're skipping in between a string. Your index finger is going to be on the 8 of the A string. Your pinky or ring finger is going to be on the 10 of the G string. And you're keeping that structure with your fingers throughout the different chords. Okay, so you go 8, 7, 3, 5. Just using the A string as your reference point. 8, 7, 3, 5. Okay. Then the next time you're just going 8, 7, 3. All right. Same thing as far as that's going to stay the same, but when you do it the next time through, you're going to have your power chord on the 8 of the low E, and you know the A and D as well. You're playing the 8, and then you go, which is 8 to 10. All right. Okay, now you go on into the chorus. So it goes. Okay, so you're playing at the 8 like you were in the verse, but you're holding down not only the 8 on the low E, A, and D, you're also holding the 10 on the G and B, okay? Right there, you stay on that at the 10 for the G and B, but you're letting go of the 8s, okay? So go to 10. That 10, 12, 10, 12, 10, 7, 8. Back to 8. You're on the 8, and then you go up to 10 to finish it off, right? So there's a chorus. Now, the next part, you're going into verse 2. Before you get to verse 2, you can either just do this. You can do that like you did in the beginning. Or, you can do this part. Right? That was a lot, I know. So you're going 10, 8, 7, 8, 7, 5, 7, 3, 5, 3, 2, 3, 2. And you're doing pull-offs on that. So you got that. If you want to test yourself, you can play that part. And then you go back into the riff, the verse riff. Right? Then you go back into the chorus again. And then after the chorus, you go. So what you're doing there starts at the 5. You got a lot of chugs in between. A slight bend on 5. So you're going 5, bend. You're bending on that 5. And then you play the 5 again, but you're not bending it. Then you go to the 3 and you do a slight bend. Then you're on the 1. 1. Right? So you got that. And like I said, there's a lot of layering. The other layering is doing an octave chord at the 5th fret of the A string. Sliding it up to the 8, going back to the 5. That's it. That's all that part is, okay? So after that, it cuts out, and you have like this little pretty part, which is basically you doing this. So you're going 10, 11, 10 on the G, 11 on the B, 7 on the G, 10 on the B, 5 on the G, 8 on the B, 12 on the G, 13 on the B. So here we go. That's it, and then it goes back into the chorus. And then you finish it up with the verse riff, and that's the song. And if you stayed this long, thank you so much for sticking around. Just do me a favor and smack that like button, subscribe or comment if you want. And now it's time to rock out.